Need a horn and a drum roll.
Never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Mic check, mic check. Make sure we got no mic working. All right, we are good. We are good. It's National Signing Day, people. Hit that like button on your way in. Was National Signing Day eventful? Early signing period kind of was where all the money was made, but we got our guy. You're here on 863 Seminole TV, and it's your host, POLK, a.k.a. ALO, a.k.a. the goddamn truth. And we got our guy. We got, in my opinion, the guy who will be the best wide receiver on the roster day one. We got our guy, folks. All my Seminole fans, hit that like button. I am, you see I got the helmet behind me, right? So you already know. So let's get that out the way off the bat, because you already know what that means. Because we got our guy, highest rated player in the class, shoot back up into the top 25. You know what that means? I'm putting a tomahawk on his helmet because that was the only guy I told you guys. That was the only guy I cared about. Tywone Malone, he picked Ole Miss. That would have been a nice little luxury to get. But I'm not worried about Malone. Never expected him to come. Not too worried about Tywone Malone. Hill was always the number one priority in my book. And we got our guy. So before we get into all this good stuff, let's get the tomahawk out the way. This is only the fourth tomahawk I've had to put on this helmet all year. I think one is for the North Carolina game. One is for Chambry Jackson. And I think the other one was for some of the transfer portal stuff. So it hasn't been a lot to celebrate. But we're going to celebrate today, folks. We're going to celebrate today. I got 3 on there, as you see. We're going to add our 4th. And what do we say? Right there. Yeah, let's put it right there. I like that. There we go. There we go. We're going to get that out the way. Now let's hit the roll call and let's just celebrate tonight. Not a lot to be positive about, but there's no reason not to be positive tonight. We got the number one guy on the board, at least on our board. So there's no reason to not be happy. And with that said, what's left to address on the roster before we hit spring? We'll get into all of that today. I got Giuseppe in the building, Aiden, Chris, Tyler, Malik, FSU Rose, Mayan King, 226 Tim, Peter Shields, Island Boy, Antonio Dupree, Lorenzo, 904, Nicholas. And I think that's all. Jay Oliver in the building. What's going on? 30 people in here, man. Hit the like button. We about to get it cracking in here tonight. Florida State Love, Noel Squad. There we go. Make your presence felt, folks. We got live tonight on National Signing Day. Dustin Hill out of Louisiana. Our top priority. We got him. Got to give credit where credit is due. Now, I think that's mostly Coach Yak recruiting that state. But I got to give credit to Dugans. Dugans has done a good job with this wide receiver class. This wide receiver class is shaped up to be very impressive, in my opinion. So we're going to hit on that right now. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons of Dustin Hill and Rashard Green. I like those comparisons. Hill's more electrifying than Rashard Green. When I'm talking about just straight up speed, they're clocking Hill at a 4.3. And unlike Mr. Chubba Purdy, who he claimed he clocked at 4.4, Hill's tape shows that he runs somewhere in that area. I don't know if it's 4.38, low 4.3s, not too sure, but he's somewhere in that area. So Dustin Hill getting Rashard Green comparisons. Again, I like those comparisons, but that's Dustin Hill in my opinion. Did Rashard Green ever reach 200 pounds? Even when he hit the NFL, I don't think Rashard Green ever played at 200 pounds. Dustin Hill is coming out of high school 6 foot, 200 pounds. At least that's what the 247 has him listed as. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds even, 4.38 speed, and he's getting Rashard Green comparisons? That might be a lot to put on a kid, but man, that's but why do I bring that up? Because in that same class with Rashard Green, there was another wide receiver in that class. Somebody tell me if you remember his name. But this kid was a physical specimen in and of itself. 6'5", 6'6", 230 to 40 pounds, was running 4.5s. Oh, we got this guy in this class. Maybe not quite as big as that guy, but he's 6'5", 200 plus. I watch him. He runs like the wind. Could we be seeing a similar situation going into the future where you have Dustin Hill, a.k.a. Rashard Green 2.0, and another potential Kelvin Benjamin type of kid, and Malik Mclean? And that's not even counting Joshua Burrell, who comes in. He's a physical specimen in and of himself. 6'2", 213 plus. They did a great job in this wide receiver class, and they needed it. That wide receiving class needed an infusion of talent, and you hit a home run in my opinion. You hit red zone target guys in Burrell and McLean. You hit guys who can stretch the field and keep the defense honest in McLean. And Dustin Hill. And Parchment isn't even on campus yet. Another kid who's 6'4", 200 some odd pounds, with very good speed and great body control. Hopefully you get some out of Brian Robinson, a guy who didn't get to play last year because of an injury. 4-star got coming out of high school. Keyshawn Hilton's not going to have the knee brace on. What can he do in the slot? A lot of people are very high on Ontario Wilson. I like Ontario. I just don't think he's a number one. But a number 3, a number 4 option, Ontario Wilson can do some damage. They hit a home run in with these wide receivers. Hill's going to come in and he's going to play day one. There's no doubt in my mind Hill's the most talented wide receiver you have on the roster. There's no doubt in my mind. Now the question becomes, okay, we got Hill. We put a tomahawk on the helmet. What do we do? What do they do with the last scholarship or so? Norvell says they have a couple more spots left. So I'll give them that. By the numbers, there's legitimately only one spot left that I know of. Norvell claims they got a couple more. I said it before. Numbers are going to work out regardless. If they take a couple more guys, they're not going to take a couple more guys and not be able to play them. So the numbers are going to work regardless. Where do they go? I think they're going to be patient. I tell you guys this every episode. We go over this every episode. Watch the portal. Why do I say watch the portal? Every single day, a new former 5-star, a new former 4-star is entering the portal. Just yesterday, DB out of Oklahoma, FSU was recruiting him. Taggart was recruiting him very hard. What's his name? Riles, Bradley Riles. You guys know who I'm talking about. Correct me in the chat. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Just entered the portal out of Oklahoma. Former 5-star DB just entered the portal. Every single day, man, these kids are entering the portal. And I still say the NCAA has to address it. Because right now you have more portal kids than scholarships. And I don't know how the NCAA fixes that without addressing it some way. Because some of these kids are going to be, I don't know, man. They're going to be cutting grass come season time or flipping burgers because there's just not enough scholarships on teams right now for all of these kids that's in the portal. And FSU is going to be very patient with these last couple scholarships or these last couple spots, however they work the numbers. I guarantee you one's going to be an offensive tackle. I would not be – linebacker could be in the potential works. For whatever reason, I still think they are happy with the linebacker position. They could add a backer. I wouldn't be against adding another edge rusher personally. That's just me. But offensive tackle and another defender in that front 7 would be my guess with these last 2 spots. No reason not to be happy today. Okay, no reason for anybody to come in here with some BS energy. I'm not saying I've seen anybody. Haven't quite checked the chat yet. We'll get to the chat in a minute. But things are looking good. I think we are in a positive direction. If you take into account the way they close this recruiting class, how they're starting the recruiting class in the next year, all we got to do is win games, folks. All we got to do is win some games. This thing gets turned over a little bit quicker than maybe some of us think. Maybe a little bit quicker than some of us think. Let me see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Let's go all the way up here. Rose says Norvell has said 2 spots in the press conference if you didn't hear it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think technically by the numbers, they got one scholarship left, but I did watch his press conference and he said they have a couple spots. So I'll take his word for it. Checking in, been waiting on you since announced at 10:30. I said POLK somewhere screaming like me. Was good. Seeing a lot of comparison. Hills of Rashad Green. I definitely see that. I forgot all about Portier, man, but that's another guy. I mean, another 6'4" wide receiver. They like their big receivers. I like the big receivers too. So I like what they're doing at the receiver position. With 2 spots left, do we get 2 offensive linemen or another receiver, an offensive tackle, or an offensive tackle and a pass rusher? I wouldn't be mad with 2 offensive linemen personally. I don't think you can have enough bodies on the O-line. But one has to be at least, and it can't just be an offensive lineman. You have to address the offensive tackle spot, like a legit offensive tackle type body. That guy, okay? No knock on Love Taylor, because I think Love Taylor has been great. But Love Taylor's playing out of position at left tackle. What is Love Taylor? 6'3", 6'4", 305 pounds at the most. He's playing out of position. Now he's holding his own. That's a credit to him and his ability. But he would thrive as a guard. We need a legit offensive tackle type body. That's what they need to be targeting. And I wouldn't be mad with taking another offensive lineman if one was to present itself. If not, someone in that front 7, like I said, give me another pass rusher, maybe another stand-up linebacker. I'd be good with either one. Hill will burn the top off of defense. Absolutely. We got about 3-4 receivers that could be our Kelvin Benjamin. The staff obviously loves size at wide receiver. We also added a PWO. They signed a couple of the primary, preferably walk-ons were signed today. The one out of IMG, the offensive lineman / defensive lineman, forget his name. The running back signed today. So we got a couple of the PWOs today as well. A couple of those guys signed. They're going to be patient, Antonio. I completely agree. Which, again, look, we ain't even hit spring camp yet, folks. I'm going to tell you right now, if you think people are transferring now, wait till these kids get in camp. Wait till spring happens and people start losing starting jobs. Kids who think they're supposed to be starting get overtaken by a kid behind them. You don't think the transfer portal is going to be a thing up until fall, in my opinion. The kids are going to be transferring left and right. They're going to be patient with these offensive linemen. Mike has his playmakers now in the backfield, on the perimeter, and the slot. He just needs to seal the deal with a good lineman. There you go, Wayne. Absolutely. Feel the last ship with the trend. Signing day's all but over almost. I don't think there's any high school player on the board that FSU is going to waste that scholarship on, quite frankly. I can't think of one. Like I said, Malone would have been a nice little take if you could have got him, but no one expected Tywone Malone to hit. And I don't think they were really in on anybody else. Terrion Arnold went to Bama. No surprise there. I thought he was going to go to Georgia personally, but Bama or Georgia was always kind of what I thought. There's no one left. There's really no one left high school-wise. Burrell could be Rodney Smith 2.0. Rodney Smith was like 6'6", 6'5". Rodney Smith is one of the more underrated receivers FSU has had. Waiting on that offensive tackle linebacker. The wide receiving corps needed a makeover, and that's what happened. Let the competition begin. Kristen Bell all the way from Texas. Did you hear about Ladamian Webb? Okay, since Tyler brought it up, yep, I'll talk about Webb for a little bit. He's no longer a Seminole, but he's no longer a member of the Troy Trojans either. Troy in Alabama, he transferred to them only to transfer out of there today. The details, I don't know the details. I did tweet about it, and basically the way I look at it as I don't know what's going on with the young man, but to transfer to 2 different schools in less than 3-4 months, whatever it's been. I hope he figures it out. I hope whatever it is, I hope he figures it out. There's no reason why he should have left Florida State to go to Troy, then to transfer again. Hope he figures it out. I hope he finds the fit for him. That puts more insight, I think, into why he left Florida State. I know there was talks that he left Florida State or he was pushed out of Florida State by Norvell, and I don't think that's true. So, I mean, I don't think he was pushed out of Troy either. So, whatever's going on in his personal life, I hope he figures it out, and hope he can get his find the perfect spot for him. Burrell reminds me of Anquan Bolden. I can see that. He doesn't have the speed, right? Because Anquan didn't have the speed either. Just big, strong receiver. So I feel you on that one, Rose. I feel you on that one. As crazy as the season was, I'm way more confident on Norvell. Good point. I'm gonna talk on that point, Giuseppe. I'm glad you brought it up. This team won 3 games last year, and they're finished in the top 25 in recruiting. Now, 3 games is never acceptable, so don't let me come on here and tell you. But what they were able to accomplish with the portal and just with the high school ranks, with a 3-game winning season. Now, let's put the 3 games into context. Let's talk about it, because we were flat out bad. But they didn't know what they wanted to do at a quarterback. We started the season with Blackman, which I think everybody in the room said, Blackman, I have no confidence. Blackman didn't make it past game 1 pretty much before he showed what he really was. Most of the luck, at the end of the day, I still wish nothing but success for James Blackman over there at Arkansas State. Now, they went from Blackman. They had no idea who they wanted to play. Remember, Tate Rodemaker was rated higher on the depth chart than Jordan Travis was. So I don't know what they didn't see or did see in practice that made Rodemaker a better option. But offensively, they didn't have anything figured out. Credit to Norvell and Dillingham. They eventually figured out what they had offensively, called the game accordingly, and were able to adjust to the personnel. That personnel was limited in what we were able to do. FSU pretty much on offense became a splash play offense. If they weren't hitting home run plays, we couldn't really move the football. That's really the way the offense kind of materialized. But they still found an identity and worked with what they had. Defensively, we all know the story there, so we're not going to turn this into a negative podcast and get into defensively. But when I say put the 3 games into context, look at what they're bringing in. They obviously were not happy with the DBs. They brought in 6 DBs this year, in this recruiting cycle. 3 high schoolers and 3 transfers. 6 defensive backs. They have no faith, I believe, in the guys that they already had on the roster. And all 3 of those transfers, I think they're going to start. I think Brandon Moore, again, I said it before, I wasn't happy with the pick just from a number standpoint. But when I watch him, I think he's the best corner they took in the portal. And if he's healthy, he's going to be a starter. He's going to be a starter. The question is who's going to be that other starter. I don't know if the Arkansas kid's going to be better than Jerry and Jones, Brownlee, or Miko Dotson, who Mike Norvell did mention in his press conference today. So Miko Dotson is still on the team, and they expect something from him coming up in this upcoming season. So DB-wise, they were not happy. They addressed it. We knew coming into last season, pass rushing-wise, we didn't have it. They addressed it. They signed 5 defensive ends. Now, 2 of those guys are projected to move inside the defensive tackle once they put on the right size the right way. You brought in George Wilson, Patrick Payton, both 6'5", twitchy edge rusher types, and Byron Turner, who I think a lot of people are sleeping on. I think he's going to be able to contribute in a day 1 type fashion. And, of course, Chambry Jackson and Joshua Farmer, I'm sorry. Again, those 2 guys project to move inside. They, in my opinion, they identified weaknesses, and I think they attacked them. Obviously, receiver was a huge weakness last year. We can talk about quarterback all we want, but how many times did people drop a Jordan Travis throw? We watched the game where Chubba Purdy started, and couldn't nobody catch a ball for that kid, but everybody wants to write Chubba Purdy off and say he's not ready to play. And nobody could catch a ball. They addressed the wide receiver room. The only position left to address address is that offensive line. I expect that to come. I am happy with the way they finished. I'm happy with the way they recruited. Was the recruiting this year perfect? Hell no. We missed on some guys. We had Luke Altmaier, and we lost him at the end. We had Brandon Jennings, and we lost him. Okay, we missed on some guys. We almost lost to Malik Mclean, but we ended up getting him back. Shout out to Dugans for closing the deal there. So recruiting wasn't perfect. You can kind of call Tywone Malone a little bit of a whiff if you want to. Matter of fact, I'll just call it what it is. We whiffed on Malone. The old Dell of old, he closes that deal. Malone comes to Florida State. But given 3 wins, I think you got to be excited with what they did. I think you got to be excited. I like what Norvell is building. Kane Zay, what's going on? Johnson from Tennessee has 3 years of eligibility left. He still hasn't made a decision either. So we'll see what they do with him. I know they've been talking to him. We'll see. I still feel like we desperately need a linebacker more than any other position. I say we need a tackle or 2 DNs or a linebacker. We need, this chat skipped on me, folks. We need a 6'7", I agree. I completely agree. Which is why I've been on the record of saying if I had to pick a dark horse, and I'm not going to pick the typical, when I say dark horse, I'm really talking about dark horse. Like people say dark horse and they're like Brian Robinson or Damori Tate. Those are talented kids that we expect to contribute. Not saying they're not dark horses, but we expect those guys to contribute. But when I say dark horse, I'm looking off the radar. Lloyd Willis, Wayne Tillman, is that offensive tackle you just described. 6'7", 320 pounds plus. He is that. We have that on the roster right now, and that is Lloyd Willis. Again, when you watch Lloyd Willis, high school tape is not overly impressive. I think he came into FSU with some baby fat, didn't really have that type of, for his size, I don't think the strength matched his size. But being a year with Atkins, I'm very interested to see what they've developed there in Lloyd Willis. Because when you look at him, not the game, not his game, his body, there's not another offensive lineman on FSU's roster. And that includes Robert Scott. There's not another offensive lineman on that roster that looks like Lloyd Willis. He looks the spot. We'll see if he ever amounts to it, but that's why he's my dark horse. Canes for life, what's going on? We need athletic linebacker for sure. I agree with you too. We can't have enough old linemen. Webb is getting bad advice from somebody. 1Tribe5, what's popping? Robert Laster says, what's good, Pope? I don't believe in negativity, but I got to say, why are so many high on Dustin Hill? We had some wide receivers have more impressive film than him, and they didn't pan out. Why everybody think he will? Well, you can say that about any commit. You can say that about any commit. What's going to remain to be seen is what this staff does with Dustin Hill. People are, again, I'm high on Dustin Hill because, again, you look at the tape, 6 foot, 200 pounds out of high school, running a 4.38. You can't coach speed. You can't teach speed. And one thing I know about this staff that I've talked about this before, and one of the downfalls of Jimbo, I won't call it the downfall of Jimbo Fisher. One of the negatives of a Jimbo Fisher coach team is he did not play his receiver. The only receiver I can remember for Jimbo Fisher that played as a freshman was Rashard Green. And that's because Rashard Green ran great routes, knew where to be, had great hands. You could count on him. We had guys like George Campbell on the roster who couldn't see the field in 2 or 3 years. We had Tamarion Terry, who Jimbo didn't want to play year one, physical specimen. You can go down and name a list that I'm strictly speaking Jimbo. Jimbo recruited the receiver position extremely well. How many of those guys ended up transferring or just not amounting to anything? A lot of them because Jimbo, he was very particular in his receivers. If they weren't ready, he didn't play them. Jimbo rather run 5'9" Bobo Wilson and 5'9" Levante Whitfield out there because he could count on them to be in the right positions. But those two guys don't scare any defense. I don't have to scheme around of 2 5'9" receivers on the outside. Those two guys can't be your starting receivers. So Yeah, we've had better guys maybe than Dustin Hill. I mean, the rankings say Dustin Hill's one of the better ones we've signed in recent years. Hell, Dustin Hill, I have to go back and check the rankings, but I think Dustin Hill probably the highest rated receiver we've signed since probably like Ermon Lane. So I'm excited. Of course, you can say that about any commit, any prospect though. Everybody's high on him because good player, but you can say that about any prospect. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes they don't pan out. Dennis, Anthony. I see a comparison between Malik and Greg Carr. He's faster than Greg Carr. Greg Carr, I mean, Greg Carr was like legit 6'6", and real Greg Carr was all arms and legs. I think he's more put together better than the Greg Carr too. I think he's a better prospect than Greg Carr. That's just me. Webb wasn't going to beat out Toafili. Can we just fast forward to August already? I'm ready to see what the season turns into. Do you think they did enough with the D-line to help that secondary? Lorenzo, I think initially I might say no. I think Patrick Payton and George Wilson, maybe in a couple years, because they're very thin. I think you can use those guys situationally. I don't think those guys are going to come in and be off the bat, playing however many snaps a game. I don't see that. But you can definitely use them situationally in a third down pass rushing type of way. What you got to hope is that some of the guys on the roster continue to develop. I think they brought in some good young talent. It might take a while for that young talent to get to where we need it to be. They definitely addressed it, but as far as making an immediate impact, I'm not too sure. Now, I like Jermaine Johnson out of Georgia. I like the other kid out of South Carolina. I forget his name just that quick. But I like both of those guys. I think the South Carolina kid is more of that tweener where he can rotate inside and outside. Johnson, I like on the edge. I don't know if that his name, Keir Thomas, right? Keir Thomas. I don't know if Keir Thomas can be a legit every down starter at defensive end. They might need to find another kind of pass rusher off the edge there, but they addressed it. We'll see how it pans out. Did any of y'all watch the Hill live stream this morning? Ceremony took forever, but I didn't realize the amount of guys in the car put into college. I didn't know that either. And I just watched where he committed. I didn't watch the entire thing. Like you said, it was long. 61 people. Hit the like button, folks. You haven't even talked about how we picked up Nico. I mean, we all knew Nico was coming, but I'm not. Nico isn't a part of this class, but we all knew Nico was coming. I didn't get too excited about Nico because we saw this last year with Altmaier. That's my thing with Nico. We saw this last year with Altmaier. It's like, now Altmaier didn't commit this early. I think Altmaier committed during the summer. Nico's committing now. But this recruiting class is going to be even more interesting than last year's. Because I'm 100% sure they're taking 2 quarterbacks. And I'm 100% sure that their second, I don't even want to call them a second priority, but the top priority other than Nico, right? We already got Nico, is MJ Morris. How does Nico respond if they sign a guy that's actually rated higher than him? So that quarterback thing, that thing could be a revolving door until signing day. I'm not saying Nico's going to decommit or anything like that, but when you start talking about signing 2 quarterbacks, and if FSU is going to sign 2 blue chip quarterbacks, somebody could get cold feet. But of course, y'all know we got Nico Mark-E-O. Make sure I pronounce that right. Mark-E-O. And I've been high on Nico since I watched his sophomore tape. So y'all already know how I feel about Nico. It's just the fact that we are even in the running for Dustin Hill that exciting. Dude had offers from Bama, UF. It's the fact that you can win 3 games and still be a top 25 class. Put respect on the name. Put respect on the name. Travis Rudolph, Devontae Phillips. Forgot about Phillips. Forgot about Devontae Phillips. Travis Rudolph was fairly productive at Florida State. He had his best season under Jameis, if I'm not. I mean, come on. But he was fairly productive. But Devontae Phillips, I forgot Devontae Phillips. What happened to him, man? Like, they recruited. Jimbo was recruiting the receiver position extremely well. And again, the guys just couldn't see the field because if you weren't the complete receiver, Jimbo, for whatever reason, he just needed the complete receiver. My philosophy, get your athletes on the field. I don't need you to be the complete receiver. I just need to get a ball in athletes. This is college. This isn't the NFL. I just need to put my best athlete on the field and get the ball in their hands. And we can make something shake. Benjamin was a redshirt freshman that played. And Benjamin didn't get his first real season of contribution, Montre, until the national championship year, where he was a redshirt sophomore. He had been on campus 3 years before we saw any real contributions out of Kelvin Benjamin. The first couple years, they might line up a couple plays here and there, but go check it. Benjamin didn't get his first full year of play until he was a three-year player at Florida State. It's huge we landed him no matter what he does. Rudolph Ermon Lane played early. That's about it. Mr. Wolf, what's going on? George Campbell was the last receiver that high. Jimbo also didn't like throwing to big receivers, which is why Rodney Smith didn't get a lot of targets. The only reason KB killed in 13 was because Jabu made sure he would give him the ball. Ermon Lane was the worst 5-star receiver FSU had since Fred Rouse. I think Lane was a 5-star. Lane was a 5-star too, but they both were 5-stars and both. At least shout out to Ermon Lane because they moved him to safety. I remember they moved Ermon Lane to safety. You know, at least he was willing to move around and try to find his niche. I think George Campbell ended up going to West Virginia. I don't know if he ever did anything there either. Brian Burns. Brian Burns was thin too. You're absolutely right, Antonio. Malik says Super Bowl news. Kansas City had 20 players, Patrick Mahomes included. Wait for a haircut. The barber is positive. They're going to play. Danny Velez. Keir Thomas definitely need to be at the defensive tackle spot. That's his bread and butter since high school, eventually college. He, Miami Central Rocket, he going to make an impact. I agree. I think he's going to make his most noise when they move him inside. Be a mismatch for some guards. I don't know if he's going to put. I don't think he's a consistent defensive end. You can move him around, but they need to find another defensive end. Ermon Lane was the 24th nationally. George Campbell was 19th nationally. Patrick Payton will come in hungry and dedicated. I'm sure of that. I know Patrick Payton's going to be ready to play. I just don't know. Can you count on a 6'5", 215-pound freshman to can you count on a 6'5", 215-pound freshman to be a constant, his body's going to kind of wear out with them offensive tackles beating on him like that. That's all I'm saying. Can't wait until FSU gets back to prominence because we actually respect FSU. I hope FSU Miami are back. Demore Tate at cornerback. I agree with you. Put athletes on the field and figure it out. Terry Arnold from Tallahassee signed with Bama, which means Bama now has 8 5-stars. Bama's killing it. Bama's just, everybody's been saying it, Jordan. Bama pretty much signed their greatest recruiting class of all time. Bama is killing it. Yeah. I'm not surprised about any of that. Bama's killing it. Bama's killing it. Arnold isn't the 5-star. I think on some recruiting services, he is a 5-star, Danny. Me over here, I go by the 247 composite, which puts all the services into account. So he's not a 5-star on the 4.7. But he's I think he's the number 1 safety in the class, though. I could be wrong there. But he's up there. But he's not a consensus 5-star. Jimbo even held Dalvin Cook back. That's how Jimbo is. Dalvin Cook didn't see the field initially either. Why? I think when Dalvin came, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had Mario Pender in his own right was extremely talented. So I kind of understand why you ease Dalvin Cook in the mix. Mario Pender gets slept on. He was really a talented running back. Should have been. I think he was suffering with some injuries and some not disciplinary issues, but like school issues. Like he couldn't stay qualified. Academic issues. So Cook was behind Pender, and I think Carlos Williams was still on the roster Cook's first year too. I could be wrong there. But there were some running backs when Cook got on campus, which I can excuse not playing Cook initially because you had some guys still on the roster. But some of those receivers we named, again, those receivers that you guys named, the George Campbells, the Ermon Lanes, the Travis Rudolphs, those were 5-star receivers. Devontae Phillips wasn't a 5-star, but he was a high 4-star. Remember Javon Harrison? He had a Kathleen High School, Polk County. He was a high 4-star. Those guys that I named couldn't see the field. And if you look at what was in front of them, they were putting guys, again, like Bobo. I'm not knocking Bobo Wilson. I'm not knocking Levante Whitfield. I'm not knocking these guys. But those were the guys that he preferred to put out there instead of your top guys, instead of your more athletic wide receivers, because they didn't know all the playbooks yet. And my thing is put those athletes on the field. And like you said, let's figure it out. We can make some shake with the athletes on the field. Everybody doesn't need to know the entire route tree, the entire playbook. George Campbell was clocked at running a 4.3 and he was 6'5". George Campbell just run go routes all day, guys. I don't need George Campbell running ins, outs, post, curls. I don't need none of that. Go route. Occasional screen pass. I'll hit you with a quick slant every now and then just to get the ball in his hand. That's all I need. Jimbo didn't believe in that type of philosophy when it came to his receivers. Thoughts on Malone? We kind of knew Malone wasn't coming to Tallahassee. So, I mean, again, I thought he was going to be a luxury if he came. I definitely wanted him, but I'm not sitting here telling you guys that's a huge loss or anything. I don't think anybody expected him to be a Seminole to begin with. So, it is what it is. Danny says, got to keep the Tally boys home. I completely agree. What's going on, Phil? Ryan Green. Yeah, he was a guy in that backfield too. Absolutely. Davies. Good point. Cook played behind some pretty solid running backs. So that's what I'm saying. Like the Dalvin Cook situation made a little bit more sense. You had a stacked backfield. Carlos was there. He was on that second of the TV. See, so that's what I'm talking. You still had Carlos there. You still, again, Pender. You had some dogs in that backfield. Could Pender have been as good as Dalvin Cook? I don't know if he could have been as good as Cook, but Pender was really talented. Mario Pender, when he had everything going, he was really talented. Marvin Bracey never got to play for us. He was, talk about fast, but he went the Olympic route and he wanted to run track. Marvin Bracey never played a snap for Florida State, if I remember correctly. I do remember his recruitment though. And Greg Dent was a solid wide receiver. He met an unfortunate situation where he was accused of an assault, didn't get charged, but was kicked off the team because of it. Unfortunate for Greg Dent. But Campbell was pretty much going to drop it. Even if he was going to drop it, Anthony, again, you take the top off the defense, at least give the defense something to account for. But I feel you. Yeah, Campbell couldn't catch. Mike has definitely got to build some relationships in North Florida and South Georgia with these high schools here. Lots of talent is being looked over by a school in their own backyard. I don't disagree with you there, Wayne. Yeah, if you're going to – the one knock I would have on Norvell and really the staff going forward is – and I don't even know if you can call it a knock. It's the COVID situation here. They didn't get a chance to go into Florida and build build the relationships with some of these high school coaches and so on and so forth. If you look at where they really focused the recruiting on, he focused recruiting on places that he's been in the past. Tennessee, Louisiana, that's because of Coach Yak. They seem to really focus on Arizona, which makes sense. That's their. They need to get back into Florida. You're absolutely right. I think we just got to give it time until these coaches can get in-home visits, visit these high schools. It's going to be very hard to build the relationships in Florida that we want them to build. But you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. We better use nothing but new guys at wide receiver before Dugans can teach them how to drop patches. Dugans has no. Again, I'm giving Dugans a ton of credit for this recruiting class. With that said, they better. You get no excuses next year. I was done with you this year, but I'm giving you a second chance, Dugans. Here's your second chance. If they can't catch next year, well, damn it, Dugans, you got to go. Random question from John says, but how do you think Malik Henry would have done at FSU? Malik with Jimbo would have been nice if he could have kept his head straight, not been a total head case that he was. I mean, I think that's a kid that ended up going to like 5 different colleges. You know, Malik had a lot going on in his personal life. If he keeps everything together, I mean, you see what Jimbo did with the Christian Ponders and the EJ Manuels. Malik Henry was cut from a different cloth than those two. He would have been good. I think he would have been good. Cook was better than all of them, though. No, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. But at the time, a true freshman running back, I understand why you got some other dogs in that backfield. Make that true freshman earn it. Thoughts on Odell? You got to give credit to Odell because Odell is the reason why we got the Chambry Jacksons, the Joshua. I keep saying George. I don't know why. Joshua Farmer, George Wilson out of Virginia really credited Odell. At the same token, or at the same, you know, again, I think it's a little bit of a whiff to miss on Tywone Malone. Back in the day, 5, 6, 7 years ago, Odell closes the deal on Tywone Malone. You talk about the competition being Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Rutgers, and Tennessee. Odell closes that. Odell closes that deal. The fact that he didn't, Odell may be on the decline. Maybe. I mean, he's been doing this thing for a long time. I'm not going to be the one to call for Odell's job. I'm not doing that. As far as I'm concerned, Odell is, in a lot of ways, gets a lifetime pass for me. But it may be some time in the near future where maybe they consider moving Odell to a off-field role, and maybe get a young guy in there at that defensive line coach. That might be somewhere in the near future. Coaching staff had to work with the relationships they had. You can see the relationships building. That's pretty much my point, Tyler. Absolutely. They had to work with what they already knew, what they had. But they're building it. They're building it. Malik was the best QB in that spring game. Agreed. I was at the spring game. If any of you guys was in Orlando that year, I was in the stands. Like, it's not even close. Sorry, DeAndre, but it's not even close. I hope Coach Yak keeps getting players from Carr because they got a lot of talent. Give me players out of Louisiana any day. What's going on, Maiden Dade? Even just a few years ago, it was pretty uncommon for a true freshman to come in and expect to see immediate snaps, not just FSU. If DeAndre Johnson didn't hit that woman in the bar, he would have been that QB competition would have been very interesting to watch. 904. You're not wrong there. Malone's coaches wanted him to go to Ole Miss. His mother liked Odell. Want to see some route running. We want to see some route running. I just want to see him catch. To hell with route running, Antonio. Can they catch the ball? I saw too many drops last year. I just want to see him catch. Granted, the most notorious dropper on this team from last year is gone. So that's great. No more Warren Thompson. So that's an awesome thing. But I just want to see you guys catch the football. As far as I'm concerned, Odell deserves a damn statue outside of Doak Campbell. He has held this program together when it could. That's why he gets a lifetime pass from me, Tyler. What they do, Rough Rider Wayne says, I'm not saying this because I know him personally since we were in college together at FSU, but I can tell you right now, Odell is not going anywhere. I don't want him gone. I think that he may be on the decline, but I don't want him gone. And again, I think when it is time for him to go, move him to administration role, whatever. But I agree with you. When Odell's ready to go, he'll go. FSU would be foolish. Mike Norvell would be an idiot to just flat out come out and say, Odell Haggins is fired. Like that would be the dumbest thing he could do. Okay, the fan base is already split on Norvell. There's people like me who, for the most part, I'm pretty positive on Norvell. Now, there's things I don't like, and I've addressed that, and but for the most part, I'm on the positive side of Norvell. I see where I can see things that I like. And then you got people that just flat out hate him. Now, a lot of those people are also Willie Taggart apologists, but we won't get into that. But the fan base is split. 3 games will do that to you. If he really wants to get the fan base to turn on him, fire Odell and see what happens there. Where did Warren Thompson land? He's still in the portal. Would you take Warren Thompson? Wanda, good evening. How are you doing? I keep hearing that name, Malik Mclean. Did he sign? Matter of fact, who all signed? Malik Mclean signed in the early signing period. And as a matter of fact, Malik Mclean is an early enrollee, so he's already on practice. He's already on campus doing the tour of duty. Malik Mclean is ready to go, Wanda. If you talk about who all signed, I'll answer your question right now. Everybody who signed their LOIs, letter of intents. Malik Mclean, 4-star wide receiver. Matter of fact, I'll put it on the screen for you guys. Hold on, give me a second so we can all see the entire recruiting class. I think this is it. Can you guys see that? Okay. There you go. These are the early enrollees. You got Malik Mclean, 6'4", 195, IMG Academy, 4-star. Joshua Burrell, 6'2", 212, out of South Carolina, 3-star. Brian Estes, out of Georgia, 3-star center/guard. Kevin Knowles, out of Hollywood, 3-star DB. Who I'm hearing a lot of good things about Kevin Knowles in the tour of duty. Here I'm hearing some good things on him. Jackson West, 3-star out of Alabama. I'm excited to see him. 6'4", 231-pound tight end. And then Joshua Farmer, strong side defensive end out of Gadsden, 3-star. Those are your early enrollees. Here are the people who actually signed. Dustin Hill, 6 foot, 200. Pretty much a top 100 player in the nation. As you can see, he's out of New Orleans. Then you got Hunter Washington out of Katy, Texas, 4-star. Chambry Jackson out of Orlando, 4-star. Omarion Cooper out of Lehigh, 4-star. Rod Orr out of Alabama, 4-star. Patrick Payton out of Miami, 4-star. George Wilson out of Virginia Beach. Now, he's interesting because he's only a 3-star, but for whatever, 247 actually has him. 247 has George Wilson damn near a top 100 player. The other recruiting services don't, so his composite comes out to a 3-star. I would argue George Wilson's probably a 4-star, but I understand why he's a 3-star in their eyes because he didn't play. This is a guy that really focused more on basketball. I think he only played 1 season of high school football. Byron Turner out of another New Orleans kid, 3-star. And as you can see, these are all the kids. Jordan Eubanks, Shaheem Brown, and Kobe Gross, JUCO. Kobe Gross was a JUCO guy. And then there's your transfers. Brandon Moore, Jamie Robinson, Keir Thomas, DJ Williams. I'm going to skip Parchment because out of all these guys, Parchment is the only one not on campus. He hasn't signed to Florida State yet. The thing on Parchment is he is getting his degree at Kansas, and then he will transfer. So we're going to skip Parchment, Jacory Brooks, Mackenzie Milton, and Jermaine Johnson. That is your class for the 2021. Tribe 21 is your class right there. That's your class, Wanda. POLK, I think they're going different. Hold on a second. All right. POLK, I think they're going different with the defensive tackles. I think they're going with smaller linemen for more speed and getting away from the bigger defensive tackles. You got to mix and match it, in my opinion. You put too many small defensive tackles in there, teams are going to, especially good offensive lines, they're going to bulldoze those guys out of the way. Now, if you match an Aaron Donald type, I mean, Aaron Donald ain't never played over, and in college he was only 260. He may be up to 280 in the pros. I mean, Aaron Donald is not your typical defensive tackle, but you got to match him up with a guy who can eat up some blocks and eat up some space. So you still need the big bodies. At least that's my philosophy. Let's all start a vote for FSU to pull me into the staff to recruit South Florida and Broward County. I'm way too plugged in. Man, let's do it. Tim, get on there. Let's do it. Hold on. Warren drops Thompson still on the market. Absolutely. Interested to see how Jordan Travis is going to be on the field. He's way too good. I agree, John. That's another thing that we're kind of not even taking into account. You got wide receiver group. The ceiling's been raised. The floor's been raised. Running back room, that was always the best position group on the offense, in my opinion. I would argue they got better with DJ. We expect I think the tight end room got a lot of talent added to its position group with West and Gross and Wilson coming back from the Achilles. I expect good things from the tight end room. The question is, how are they going to use Jordan Travis? But they got to use him. Like you said, he's too good. He's too much of a weapon. Do you use him in a Chris Leak, Tim Tebow type of way? They might do that, but he's too good and he's too effective to not use him in some shape, form, or fashion. So I agree with you there. Alto Tarver looks like we got a new PWO. I know nothing about him. Okay, we'll check that out. I didn't know anything about him either. I know we signed a couple already. Where is he from? I'm trying to find him now. I don't see him. Here he is. Alto Tarver, extremely grateful and blessed for the opportunity to play at Florida State, not only for football, but I'm excited to be able to study criminal justice close to home. He's wearing number 76. I'm gonna click on his profile right here. He's 6'5", senior basketball, football, left tackle, right tackle. Okay, so he's an offensive lineman at 6'5". I'm with it. Again, you're talking walk-ons here, so we're not going to pretend like this guy's going to come in and play. But they're taking a lot of walk-ons. They might hit on a couple of these guys. What's going on, Frank? POLK, I know we're stacked on DBs, but I do have to say I've always liked Bradley Riles, Bradley Riles is in the portal, former 5-star. I don't even know why he's in the portal. I thought he got a lot of playing time at Oklahoma. And that's my point that I was talking about earlier. Kids are hitting the portal, guys, just to hit the portal. 71 people in here, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. But kids are just in the portal just to hit the portal. Some of these kids aren't going to have landing spots. What's Akeem Dent going to look like this year? I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of competition. So Akeem Dent has to step up. Don't sleep on McLean. Went to IMG. It's a prep school for college football. Alto's another PWO offensive tackle, looks like. Listed at 6'5", 306. Antonio, who knows what Dent is going to look like? We got to see if he's fully recovered from the broken ankle. Don't know if you saw POLK, but college football video game. You know what? Speaking of that, I'm glad Kane Zay brought that up. If you haven't heard, if you remember, last summer I was doing the NCAA little video. I think I'll probably do that again this summer. Why not? Well, it's coming back. I got to tell you, yesterday that might have been the greatest news I had heard all day. Dustin Hill's big news, but the fact that they're bringing back NCAA for the PS5, now I got to make sure I damn sure get my hands on the PS5 now. But the fact that they're bringing that game back, let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't see me make content for a little while, it's because I'm on PS5. I'm on that NCAA, and I'm not budging away from my TV. So absolutely, Kingsley, I'm excited about that. And if you have a PS4/5, not if I read correctly, they're not making it for the PS4. This would be strictly PS5. So, but if you have a PSN account, if you play games, add me on there. I'll be glad to hand out tons of ass whoopings on that NCAA. Tons of ass whoopings. We actually put together a better class than most thought. Exactly. That was the best news in 2021. Absolutely. Bro, after that Brandon Jennings and Luke Almar stuff, I really thought, Tyler, I'm glad you hit that. If you remember, I made the video after these decommitments, was FSU at rock bottom? Because I thought the decommits were coming, and they were coming fast. Because Malik Mclean did decommit. There were tons of room. Now, I think we may have gotten lucky that Michigan was so terrible this year. Because Omarion Cooper was trending to Michigan very hard at one point that he was going to decommit and go to Michigan. Ended up not happening. We got our guy. There were more decommitments on the horizon that I think a lot of people were predicting, and they saw, and they were able to right the ship, so to speak, and keep that thing from sinking. And not only did it not sink, they put it afloat, and then we started sailing in the right direction. Like, we just ain't treading water. We are full go ahead, top 25 class. From what this class could have ended up being, I think you have no choice but to be positive on the way this thing ended up. Good point. The kicker room definitely needs to be addressed. Don't use a scholarship on it, though. Sorry, don't. There's plenty of freaking walk-ons you can go find to kick the football. It does need to be addressed, but you do not use a scholarship on it. Not saying you're saying that, but I just want to put that out there. Let's go, No Nation. CJ Campbell is my walk-on to watch out for. That's the running back, right, Tyler? He's pretty good. Priscilla, how you doing? I ain't finna buy Madden no more. I haven't played Madden. I don't play Madden anymore, Kingsley. I don't play Madden anymore. And I'm damn sure not gonna play it when NCAA comes out. The only time I bought Madden last year, because people tricked me and told me that it's better this year. And no, it's the same crap that it always is. I've been done with Madden for a while, but I did buy it last year. And sometimes I'll get on it, play the little, me and my buddies do our little online franchise modes. But the franchise, they don't even do anything with the franchise on Madden. I've been done with Madden for a long time. Sometimes you just play it to get your football fix. I'm so ready. I think they said it's not releasing till like 2022 or something like that, though, which is unfortunate. But I'm so ready for NCAA. Tyler hitting facts, but Norvell got Milton, and then everything else fell in place. The Oklahoma DBs don't like the rotation. Okay. Jonathan Cook says they effed us. We would have been number one on NCAA in 14, right? Jameis would have been on the cover if they would have gave us the next year. On NCAA 15, if they would have made an NCAA 15, you would have had Jameis on the cover of that. They effed us, like you said, Jonathan. Absolutely. They're not making NCAA for PS4. Right. So you got it. If you don't got that PS5, which I don't, get your PS5 game up. Add me on PSN again. I'm handing out ass whoopings. Whenever y'all ready, let me know. I'm handing them out left and right. I'm going to drag your ass. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I'm handing them out, baby. I'm handing them out. POLK just got in here. Just fired one up from a long day of work. What's going on, Ray Fitty? You never know sometimes. Baker Mayfield was a walk-on. He walked on to multiple schools, too. You're right. You're absolutely right. Don't let them do an online dynasty poll because we out here. Bruh, we out here. We're going to be in there deep. So, are we all in agreement that the excuses are out the window now? This is Norvell's team aside from one or two key positions. If this looks like I'm with you, brother Brooklyn. No excuses here. I didn't make any excuses to begin with. I think the personnel excuse was a bunch of BS. I've always addressed it. That I think the personnel, he doesn't have his guys, is garbage. Defensively, you damn sure can't say that because they added 6 defensive backs. So Adam Fuller wants all these DBs. Well, here you go. You got all the DBs. We got Mackenzie Milton. We got a new wide receiving core. Again, I still say we addressed the offensive line. We lost 20-some-odd players in the portal this year, but we addressed it and added a good amount of guys back. They essentially flipped the roster. No excuses in my book. I would love to know everybody else's opinions, but in my opinion, they get no excuses. Florida State went from sinking to floating. Now we moving. Now we sailing though. Don't forget that part, Montre. We were sinking. We got floating. Now we moving in. Even if we just paddling, we still going in the right direction. It's EA. You know NCAA is going to be copy and paste mad, but I'm going to buy it regardless because the kids, I hear you. I have no faith in EA either. But I will say this. When they were doing yearly Madden and yearly NCAA did not play like Madden. They did a lot of very good things when they were actually making that game a lot better than they were doing with Madden. Madden, they were whatever. They cashed. And that's because you got the NFL license with Madden and they can cash out on players' likenesses and do the ultimate team crap and just milk it for all the money. They never did that with NCAA. So I have faith, Tyler. Don't you come in here with that foolishness. Look, we got Hill. That's great news, but the best news ever was them bringing back NCAA. Don't come in here with that negativity. Damn, they forced me. You got to get you one. Get you one, Rose. I got to get me one too. John Shields says, so where's FSU? We are number 20. Let me check. I know we're top 25. I think we're 22. We're 22. Hell no. I'm killing anyone in NCAA. FSU me, please. How many wins do you need to be satisfied this year? Well, first of all, you got to make a bowl game. Okay? Got to make a bowl game. So that would be 6. Now, I want more than 6. You give me 7, 8, you're moving in. Again, I said this before. You give me 8 wins, watch the hell out. Because they're gonna have a top 10 class if you give me 8 wins. You give me 8 wins, they're gonna have a top 10 class. I'd be happy with 7. Pat, what's going on, man? We might be sailing now, but we're still gonna do a haul over inlet. Might be rough. Might be a little rough. We'll see. We're moving in the right direction. That's all I can say. We're moving in the right direction, man. Nothing else. You got to be happy that we're moving in the right direction. Again, you got to give credit where it's due, man, because, bruh, this thing could have went left very quickly after Altmaier and Brandon Jennings left this class. After winning only 3 games. And not only did you only win 3 games, you got blown out in damn near every game you lost. Like, you weren't even competitive in most of these games. This thing could have went left, and it didn't. Top 25 class. I don't know what there's to be mad about. If the defense looked like they did last year midseason, especially against Louisville, does Fuller get 904? I'm not giving Fuller that long. All I know is you're opening the season with a Notre Dame team that's going to be breaking in an entirely new quarterback, an entirely new offensive line, and I think they're losing a pretty decent amount of defensive players on that Notre Dame team as well. If that defense looks like it did last year against Notre Dame, game 1, I think Fuller should be gone by halftime. I'm not giving Fuller that long. I'm giving him 1 game. That's just me. Now all we need is good coaching. Damn, it would have been so great if we got Malone. Top 10, definitely. You sound like Uncle Elroy talking about ass whoopings on college football. Whole lot of whoopings. Whole lot of whoopings, baby. Y'all better be ready. All that NCAA code might as well be a century old. Meanwhile, they have let this whole system built out for Madden and modern systems. I know. Yeah, you're not wrong, Tyler. You're absolutely not. You're absolutely not wrong. I've been saying this. I think Norvell is our guy. I got that feeling. Is it waiting list for the PS5? I don't know. I don't even have them in Hawaii. I can't freaking find them. And I'm not going to be scouring the internet waiting until 3, 4 in the morning to try to buy one. I'm kind of just waiting till everybody kind of gets theirs, and then I can just go to the store like I would normally do and just pick one up. That's kind of how I'm playing this whole thing out. Just kind of waiting for the hype to die down. Now they might pour some money into adding tons of features, which honestly, my main complaint with Madden. Main complaint with Madden is, again, yeah, they don't add. Madden is the same game every year. Unless you're talking Ultimate Team. That's the only thing they add money into. Usually when I play football games, man, I like to play the franchise. I like to play the franchise modes. Build up the Redskins, well, they're not the Redskins anymore. The Washington football team or the Jets, take a sorry team, the Dolphins. I know Dolphins were better this year, but normally, you take a sorry team, Jaguars, and you build them up. That's kind of how I like to play those games. Except when Madden gets tired because you don't add any new features to franchise. Franchise has been the same for the last 5 years. You can't even hire position coaches in Madden. That's like ridiculous. You could do that when Madden was on PS2. Now you can't do stuff like that anymore. It's ridiculous. Not bad, ranked number 22. Not trying to be greedy, but if that fight night come out, I'll be ready for that fight night too, man. Where did Malone go? He went to Ole Miss. I'm actually liking this Louisiana pipeline thing. I do too, brother. Now, we got to get Florida locked up. But if you can have Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana, that's all you need to recruit. All you need to recruit is Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana. You can dip into Texas every now and then too. But if I can get Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana, bro, I don't need to recruit nowhere else. There's another kid from that same school as Hill who plays wide receiver, and maybe even better. I think his last name is Anderson. NCAA football is 2K, and Madden is NBA Live. Good to see FSU heading in the right direction. My Canes need y'all to improve to get things interesting again. Like the Miami Hurricanes are world beaters. Come on, John. But we're going to improve. Y'all just focus on Bama first game. Man, if they bring back fight night, sheesh. Norvell has shown that he is the man, I think is what you were trying to say. Info, Bernard Woods, he went to Ole Miss. We had fellas opting out during the season, cats decommitting, and we were not playing well at all. This class was basically the Titanic, sinking fast, and Norvell, thank you, Wayne. Absolutely. Ding, 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 nail on the head. We had guys hitting the transfer portal what seemed like every day. I remember a time where every time I got on my Twitter, it was a new guy entering the portal. And I'm not exaggerating. We had guys decommitting, hitting the portal. Again, we only won 3 games, weren't even competitive in the games we were losing. Quite honestly, this recruiting class should be in the 40s, 30s, I don't know. And it's not. And not only is it not, they got momentum going into next year. Now, it's too early to be talking about the 2022 class, but they are top 10 with the blue chip quarterback, with, in my opinion, the best high school player on the country. Oh, and a blue chip wide receiver as well. Come on now. You got to give credit where credit is due. Wayne hits the nail on the head. This thing was looking bad at one point. If they win more games to get the great recruits next year. 8 wins and watch out. That's like I said, 8 wins, top 10 class. Can't convince me otherwise. Madden gameplays get stiffer every year, and y'all trust EA with college game. Well, we got no choice but to trust them with the college game, Ardavius, unfortunately. I get all the EA hate. I'm with you guys. I hate EA. I'm 100% with you guys. But I just gotta have faith. I just gotta have faith. Y'all gonna stop trying to rain on my parade with this NCAA. Don't rain on the parade. EA. Yep, absolutely. Or the new uniforms are going to cost $5 a uniform. That's exactly what they're going to do. Norvell is the man. Stay tuned. Go Noles. Just believe. Haven't played Madden since 15, and I don't blame you. And you ain't missing much. I agree. We could have beat Notre Dame last season if it wasn't for the defense. Need those Midwest offensive linemen. We should try to go back to Mississippi Gulf Coast like we did back in the day. I got Bama by 56 week 1. Bink, bink, bink. Norvell had some positive things to say in his presser about recruiting Florida and Georgia for the future classes. Alabama versus Miami, 56-0. Damn, a Clemson fan coming for y'all heads at Miami, guys. What y'all got to say? POLK, I could have said the same thing, like 52-10, 4 in a row. It's irrelevant. We're going into a new year. It's irrelevant. Bama is going to beat the living hell out of them. Okay. We're at that point of the live stream where here we go. Everybody's going to start talking trash to Miami, including the Clemson guys, talking trash to Miami. Chris Robinson says, what up, POLK? Orlando want to check in. What's going on, Orlando? Disney World's in the house. Universal's in the house. Webb is off the team at Troy. Yep, we touched on him earlier. Yeah, he left the team. He left Troy. Whatever's going on with Ladamian Webb, I hope he figures it out. I don't know if he's getting bad advice or he's got personal things, but yeah, I don't know why you would transfer from Florida State to Troy just to transfer again. Unless hope he figures it out. Hope everything goes right for that young man. Madden franchise sucks. Absolutely. All you see is the head coach. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I can't play it. It's not realistic. Free agency sucks. You'll like Madden, you'll have like Tom Brady as your quarterback. And just for, talking purposes, Russell Wilson becomes a free agent. And the team with Tom Brady will sign Russell Wilson as a quarterback. And you're like, how is this real? That's what I hate about Madden. None of it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stupid stuff they do. And you can make it real. Who are the blue chips in the 2022? Travis Hunter, Nico Marchio, and who's the kid out of hold on, let me go real quick. Because I forget the kid out of Arkansas, the wide receiver. Quincy McAdoo. Those are our 3 blue chips as of right now. But that 2022 class, I expect a lot more. How come you're not wearing your gray hat? I don't even know where my gray hat is, Todd. My son gets in here and he touches stuff, and I don't know. I don't know where it's at. I take building a team around kids from Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana than getting a West Coast QB. Tyler, we don't have to go that far for a quarterback. Have you not seen the quarterbacks Georgia's been producing? The Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, of course, the guy that's coming out of Clemson this year. I mean, I'll take a Georgia quarterback any day. Give me a Georgia quarterback all day. Who else is out there besides EA? That's 2K. 2K is the only other people that make sports games. They used to make a college game too, but it wasn't like what EA was doing back in the day. So I don't know. I don't know if the next big fight, I got to check that for you. I don't know when the next big fight. What the fuck, Webb? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Webb, Brandon. Don't know what's going on with Webb, but he has left the Troy program. So hopefully whatever's going on with him, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Malik Simmons is better for the ACC if Miami beats Bama. I think we have an 8-win season. We could out-recruit all the Florida schools. I agree with that, Chris. Mark E.O., yes. Nico Marchio. Really sad for Webb wasting his talent. Absolutely. Who did you say the best player in the country was? Travis Hunter. Best player in the country. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Travis Hunter, 6'1", defensive back / wide receiver. He's really an athlete. Out of Georgia. Is the best high school player. He was the best high school player this year, if you take into account the 2021 guys, in my personal opinion. He's one of the best high school prospects I've seen in a long time. The dude is really nasty. Prove me wrong. West Coast QBs just seem to be our thing now. Give me them Georgia quarterbacks. I'll take that. DJ Oogie 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 is from Martyr Day. The U is beginning to lock down recruiting in South Florida. Are you? Are you sure? We'll see. Are you sure, Dennis? Was that Dennis or John that said that? That's John. You guys, all you Miami guys say the same thing. John Shields, Dennis, you guys all, I confuse you guys sometimes. Let's see if you guys are actually locking down the state of Miami, so to speak. So in the 2020 Clue class, you guys are ranked 26. You've got a kid out of Tampa. You got a kid out of Hollywood. I don't see any Miami guys there. Let's see what you guys did in this class. I know you guys had a top 10 class, I believe. Nope. Number 12 class. Leonard Taylor, Miami. Romello Brinson, Miami. Seymour's, Miami. Brashard Smith's, Miami. You guys got a good class. Cameron Kitchens. I don't know if you're locking down Miami, though. You guys had a good class this year, though. Not going to waste any more time on looking at Miami's class. Webb's issues may be deep in the football if he's leaving Troy. That's my thing. That's why I say I hope he, whatever's happening, I hope he's able to figure it out. Because I don't think it's a football thing at this point. I don't think it's a football thing. 8 wins definitely brings the recruits in. They're the only company that can make the licensed simulation football games. Everything else is made up teams and 7-on-7. Not even close. Travis Hunter is a beast. Will Joshua Burrell, will he play right away? He's gonna be in the mix. I think every position at that wide receiver room is going to be in the mix. I don't know if he's going to play wide right away because there's some guys on the roster there's some guys on the roster right now that might be better than Burrell. Brian Robinson, Portier. I mean, I think Ontario Wilson and Keyshawn Helton will have something to say about that. But physically, Burrell's going to be ready to go. How was the U locking down when Terrence Lewis went to Maryland? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Patrick Payton came to us. Like you said, Terrence Lewis just went to Maryland. Alabama is locking down recruiting in South Florida. Quit lying. Justin Ross is back. He about to torch Georgia. From Norvell's presser, he said Hill, McClain, and Burrell will have a chance to play early. I believe they will have a chance to play early. Brother Brooklyn says, for those who need their football fix, I think spring football starts the 21st. I know Dion and Jackson State play the 21st. Who do you think is going to be the leader on the team? Sniper, that's always a tough thing to gauge. Because I'm a personal believer that your leaders aren't made. You just have it. Your leader will emerge. I think Mackenzie Milton will definitely be – he's definitely going to have the respect. He's going to be the most tenured guy on the team. Not only that, he's going to be the most accomplished guy on the team. So offensively, you could have definitely – I think Milton's going to be that guy. Defensively, I would assume one of those transfer guys to step up. And, you assume it'd be a more tenured player or a upperclassman, but sometimes your best leader could be one of the young guys. Again, because to me, you don't make them. They're born. You either have the it or you don't. I mean, we saw a redshirt freshman in Jameis Winston take that team and make it his own. And you had great leaders on that team. You had LaMarcus Joyner and Telvin Smith and guys like that on that team. And yet Jameis stood out, right? So I believe your leaders are born, not made, and we'll see who emerges. Y'all don't read too well. I said beginning. You're not even beginning, John. Shoot. Beat Bama and then we can talk. Is Nasruddin leaving? Nasruddin is leaving, yes. He's leaving. He already participated in the Senior Bowl. Nas is out of here. How is Miami locking down? But Saban came and got Jacory Brooks, 5-star wide receiver out of Miami. He said beginning, to John Shields' credit. He feels like they're beginning. I don't even see where they're beginning. They signed some good players out of Miami. They should sign good players out of Miami every year. But he said beginning, so we'll give John credit. He said beginning. I skipped some. I didn't even see some of these comments that I skipped. My bad. Tyler says Burrell strikes me as a smart, cerebral kind of player. I agree. I think a guy like Burrell would have played early for Jimbo. I think Jimbo would have put Joshua Burrell on the field pretty early. Will Dustin Hill play right away? Yes. There's no doubt in my mind that Dustin Hill plays game 1 against Notre Dame. I'm not telling you he's going to have 100 yards receiving or anything, but he'll be on the field. I'm going to read this comment because this is interesting. And Malik says, the Gators are the best team in Florida. If y'all beat them, it will help pull FSU to get recruits. Now, this is coming from a Clemson fan. And see, you can see how out of touch the Clemson fan is on Florida issues. He's right about this. The Gators are the best team in Florida. And somehow, not only were they the best team in Florida, they had an incredible offense this year. You had a Heisman contender at quarterback. You're going to have a first-round pick at tight end. Maybe their best wide receiver since Percy Harvin and Tony. They had everything going for them. And somehow the Gators are – hold on. Because I want to show this. Somehow the Gators are getting out-recruited by the Miami Hurricanes, but you're the best team in Florida? Because I know when FSU was running the state, not only were we the best team in the state, not only did we recruit the best, but we were landing top 5 recruiting classes, top 3 recruiting classes. Oh, sprinkling a couple number 1 overall recruiting classes. When we were doing the things that the Florida Gators are doing right now, FSU was on a whole different level. This is the problem with the Florida Gators and Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen has a ceiling as a coach. I think he's a good coach, and I think he's a pretty damn good quarterback coach. The guy is a cornball. The guy can't recruit. And if you're the best team in Florida and you can't recruit and keep, there's no reason why the Gators shouldn't have a top 5 class. With the amount of talent that was in the state every year, there's no reason why the Gators don't have a top 5 class, other than the fact that Dan Mullen isn't that guy. So I just want to point that out. How's Miami? Okay, I read that one already. John Seals, we refine. We just don't care. There you go. The lockdown reference is due to who we are brought in as new coaches. Yeah, but you got to win. And to be fair, I know I would be excited for a new coaching staff. But you did take a bunch of guys that got fired from other jobs. Just saying. Dan Squatch, what's going on? Dan Mullen can't recruit, that's why. And yet Mullen is trying to get out of there fast. Then that's another rumor that Mullen is apparently really trying to get in the NFL. So I don't know how long Florida stays at top, to be fair. Miami, Bama score will be closer. Miami and Bama score will be closer than FSU and Notre Dame. You've really bumped your head now, John. Now you're just looking for attention, John. Okay. Got my Xbox on Facebook Marketplace. Met the dude at the NEX. How much you pay for it, though? How much you pay for it, Jonathan? Because I know a guy who also went to the NEX Met a guy on Facebook, paid $1,000 for a PS5. I'm not paying $1,000 for a PS5 or an Xbox. I prefer to get my PS5 personally, but I'd get an Xbox. But I'm not paying $1,000. I'll be damned. I will wait until I'll just wait. I'm not doing that. I will wait. I look for Robinson to be a leader on the team. Jamie Robinson makes sense. Dan Mullen equals Jim Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh is a better recruiter than Dan Mullen. Personally, UCF been good with 3-star players. They also play a little bit lower competition. Let's hope the swamp actually burns down this year. Absolutely. South Carolina can burn too. Everyone cares about the Canes. That's not true. That's what everyone talks about the Canes. That's not true. I don't talk about y'all. Have you not noticed? I do not talk about y'all until y'all come in here with the smoke, and then we go back and forth for a little bit. Usually it's actually the people in the comment section that gets on you guys, on the Hurricane fans. I don't make videos about y'all. I don't troll y'all. I don't care. I'm not saying it's not entertaining. Maybe I should start doing troll videos on Miami. Maybe I'll get a little bit more views and likes and clicks, but I don't over here, I don't worry about y'all. That's a big pickup for Florida State. Build a CPU like an adult. I can't ever go back to console. It costs too much money, man, to build a PC though, man. I when I was deployed, I was looking up stuff, and I considered building a PC when I got back. It just, you're talking about paying $2,000-$3,000, man, for a good computer. I've thought about it though, but I'll stick to my console for now. Don't run the Xbox. Get that good old fat, bruh. Stop. Concrete. I don't have to run. First of all, I'm not running to nowhere. I'm gonna get the PS5, and make sure you're the first person to. Yeah, you're gonna be the first one that I'm gonna live stream that game, and I'm ass whooping. No, I don't, John. Show me one video on my page that's a Miami troll video. You can't. I don't make videos about y'all. Florida will never be as good as they've been in the past with Todd Graham as their DC. I've never spent $1 in Gainesville. I refuse to even stop for gas. Be careful what you ask for. I don't have a life. We got to win. It's been 20 years since we won a Natty, 21 since they took our championship and gave it to OSU. It's time to win. All that turnover chain is cool. But see, Canes, they always comes in with some actual common sense. Of course, you guys got to win. Polk, when this college game comes out, I'll love to start an online. Let's do it. We're definitely going to do it. That'll be something we do. Absolutely. Florida or Miami? What are we talking about? What's the question there? Box LOL. You just said Florida, Miami. Florida, Miami, what? Who do I hate more? Florida. Ready to see that night atmosphere when we play Notre Dame with the fans. I'm very interested to see what they do with the COVID and all of that stuff. Canes, Alabama, only team they should have chain and rewards. I'm ready. I'm already on your friends list. These thumbs I've been belong in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying, just be ready. Just make sure you're ready though. Just make sure you're ready. Just make sure you're ready. So yeah, to recap, we got him. We got Dustin Hill. I mean, the conversation's kind of gone all over the place, guys, but we got Hill. We got our number one receiver, in my opinion. I mean, again, I haven't even mentioned Parchment yet. Parchment, Hill, McLean, Burrell, on top of what you already have. Got to be excited. if we beat Virginia, that first game with Taggart, do you think that changes the course of things? Interesting question. A part of me wants to say no, even if you win that game. A lot of the problems Taggart had were more systemic than on the field. And on the field wasn't great. But there were things that he just did that I didn't agree with. And at the time, everybody thought they were cool. Oh, we're playing music at practice and the kids are... Show me national championship caliber teams that's dancing, having dance off on a practice field. Pop Warner teams aren't doing that. It's those type of things, man, that really... There's a reason Landon Dickerson... I mean, that video is very popular where the kid's dancing on the field and Landon Dickerson is over there staring like, what the hell am I doing here? There's a reason he goes to Bama, becomes a big-time center, maybe NFL caliber player, wins a national championship. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Taggart did those type of things, man, that I'm not some stiff that's like everything has to be, you can't have fun on the field. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to play the music at practice, make the kids earn it. Taggart's problem, man, he came into the FSU and he wanted to be everybody's friend. And again, the culture he set, in my opinion, that's just my take on it. But, you know, I know that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms that people aren't going to vibe with because everybody has their opinion on that. But my opinion, man, again, show me any winning program that's dancing on a practice field. Show me one. Pop Warner, high school, college, NFL, just show me one. Show me a program, a franchise, a little league organization where you go watch a practice, they're playing music and dancing. If you can show me that, I'll take back what I just said. Because it all starts from there. That's just my personal opinion. I hate Florida because they run from us. Bama, too country for change, more like hogs and beer. Go Tide, roll Tide. Gator fans are the worst. Absolutely, we know that. I built my initial rig for $500. 6 years later, I upgraded my motherboard, processor, graphics card. I can run everything I play between the Ultra. But when a PS5 is $801K, but PS5 is only $500. And then I don't need the disc version. I was gonna just buy the digital version, so that's $399. I'm not paying $1K for a PS5. They can kiss my ass. Don't forget, we got Cam McDonald coming back at tight end, which is dangerous for any defense. I'm really interested to see if they move Cam. Not saying you move him to wide receiver, but if they line him up outside. I would line Cam up outside on some certain downs and use him as a big wide receiver. I seen one clip, literally every person in the video is dancing during a drill. That was my point to Tyler's question. I just don't. Winning would have masked. Winning that one game against Virginia, it wouldn't have masked what was eventually going to come with the program. Again, I'm not some stiff. I'm not some old school guy that says you can't have fun and all of that, but there's levels to this, bro. And I don't know who the hell on that staff thought that dancing was the cure. Like who the hell like? And I believe I believe someone like an Odell wasn't with it, but he's not the head coach and he can only say so much. But somebody was supposed to take Taggart to the side and say, bruh, that's not a good look. Okay, you want to play the music? Cool. But the kids aren't even paying attention to the drill. They're dancing. That's not a good look. Stuff like that. Like that could have been, you got to fix that, man. You got to fix that. That's just me, though. Hey, wide receiver 1 touchdown. We got him. We got him. I like Taggart and still do, but the lessons he learned under the Harborough boys, he got away from. To my knowledge, there wasn't any dancing at USF or Oregon. So why come to Florida State and do that? because it's your dream job. Like, Taggart mismanaged a lot of things, not even talking about on the field. He mismanaged a lot of things. There's a lot of talks. Again, we tend to overlook some certain guys, and I don't want to make this a Taggart show, but since we're talking about it, the hell with it. We're talking about it. It's Florida State show, and the Taggart era was a part of this, so we're going to talk about it. Keith Gavin came out and said if Taggart was a coach, he would have never been a Seminole. They had a former commit or prospect linebacker. I think he ended up signing with Georgia, who said he came to Florida State for the Saturday Night Live, said the atmosphere was great. He said, but nobody was focused on football or winning games. They were just focused on having fun. He can go to any college and have fun. He was one trying to win football games. So he ends up choosing Georgia. That was my whole thing from the jump. I can go to any college in the country and have fun, with the exception of like West Point, with the exception of one of those military academies. But I can go to any college in the country and have fun. But if you're not showing a dedication to winning football games, you don't have a plan to win. If these kids don't come in, and you can be the coolest dude in the room, but ultimately these kids want to go make millions of dollars. And if they don't see you can take them there, there's a reason why his first class, you don't sign one offensive skill position player. You don't sign one quarterback, one running back, and one wide receiver. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of systemic things that Taggart really mishandled. And I liked him too. I wanted him to be successful. I want every Florida State coach to be successful. I'm not going to root against any Florida State coach. But again, you can't line that crap up out there, man. And that's embarrassing. And that's not even talking about the little red backpack they were wearing. A lot of bad decisions, man. A lot of bad decisions. The shoe game killed releases for everything. Now you can't just buy what you want. Graphics cards and consoles have been hit the hardest, especially those graphics cards, Tyler. I heard those graphics cards, they're already expensive, and I heard the scalpers have just snatched all of those up. We played music during warm-ups and stretching back in college, but when the whistle blew, that is stopped. And even if they did play the music during practice, Dan Squatch, name a time you saw somebody dancing during a drill. Taggart tried to be cool. Him and Dugans with them donks play football, man. Do you think we would have won against Wake Forest this year? I don't know. Man. That's a tough. I don't know. What Wake Forest does well, we do bad. And that's attack the middle of the field offensively for them. And I talked about this at length. Our linebackers are bad in coverage. That would have been an interesting game. I mean, every game is different, so I don't know. Jim Levitt left FAU because of Willie. There was a good story on him. They played swag surfing at FAU at USF. Man, Taggart's biggest issue was learning to separate friends and players. It's okay to have the open relationship with your players. There you go. 226. Absolutely. It's okay to love your players. It's okay to be cool with them. But where do you draw the line and say, let's focus on the task at hand? And I don't feel like he ever did that. I knew when we only scored 3 points against Virginia Tech, Taggart wasn't our guy. If you're one of those people with stacks of PS5s and 15 pairs of the same shoe, those are those resellers, man. To hell with those dudes. See, I need to be the South Florida and Broward County scouting coach. I'm still looking to start the petition. We can get you there. You could tell in Taggart's interviews that they really didn't know how to coach. I won't go as far as to say the man didn't know how to coach. I do think he mismanaged a lot, though. I won't say he didn't know how to coach. I'm not going to go that far. But again, like Tim said, you didn't separate friends and business. Okay, and at what point do you you draw the line in the sand and say, if you guys want X, Y, and Z, well, we got to go on the field and we got to earn it. I want to know how Mike Norvell watched that game versus Duke and was like, yeah, Fuller is our guy. Duke isn't even How did he watch any of the games? How did he watch the game against Louisville, Notre Dame, Jacksonville State? I think Wake would have been a coin flip. Just depends on which FSU team showed up. The Notre Dame, yeah, I agree. Coach Bowden in his 90s danced a lot, but there was a time and a place for all of that. When they went into the old Pensacola Street Tunnel to get to the practice field, playtime was over. That's the only point I'm making. I'm sure every college has they have fun. They do a lot of fun things. But like you just said, Wayne, in your comment, when they get to the practice field, playtime was over. When they get to the practice field, playtime was over. The clip we see, they're on the practice field having a dance competition. What you do before you hit the field, man, have fun, joke, all of that crap. Mickey Andrews would have blown a head gasket had he, come on, guys. Mickey Andrews would have killed somebody had he seen some crap like that on his practice field. And we know this. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's clock management and the organization skills. Clock management was bad. Only thing I can think is that Norvell wanted continuity within the program. Fuller gets no passes this season. Not at all. Random question. But how's the food in Hawaii? Heard they got good barbecue. They got I like Hawaii food depends on what you like. They love their macaroni salad here. And believe it or not, McDonald's sells Spam. Now, if you're from where I'm from, Spam is what I like to call a struggle food. You didn't eat Spam unless y'all was hurting, right? Spam is something, you grew up in the struggle, you ate Spam. No, they eat it here like it's like Spam is the deal here in Hawaii. They love it. But they eat a lot of pork, a lot of pork, a lot of pig. So if you're not a pork eater, Hawaii is probably not the spot for you. But for the most part, food's good. But yeah, they love their Spam, man. They love their Spam. What's up? This is my first time seeing you. How you say that? F8 Fatal Jedi. Okay. Fatal Jedi in the building. I think my first time seeing you here, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel by all means. Continuity with trash. I understand he doesn't want coaches in and out, but damn. To Tyler's point with that, and to your point, Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken, I think most of Norvell's guys that he hired were only on 2-year. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Norvell's gone after this year, most likely, unless FSU does a complete 180 top. The only way I would be a fan of keeping Adam Fuller is if somehow FSU was to finish top 30 in the nation in defense. Top 30. Then I'd be like, oh, okay. Outside of that, I think we're like 150 something last year, 120 something last year. If you can get it to top 30, okay. I think Fuller's gone regardless. Mickey Andrews actually saw a Willie practice. He left because of it. And Mickey's old at this point, but imagine Mickey in his prime seeing some crap like that. Everybody gets cussed out. Everybody gets cussed out. Who do you think our starting wide receivers are week 1? I think it's going to be Parchment on one side, Hill on one side, and Pookie Wilson at slot. That's what I think. That potted meat rough, man. But they love it here. Deep fried Spam sandwich with mayo. Again, that's struggle food, but they sell Spam at McDonald's here. Well, you got to think we kill roaches and people in other countries eat them. It's all different everywhere. Absolutely. If y'all didn't know Willie was actually an analyst, if y'all didn't know Willie, I think you mean Mickey. He did bring Mickey on staff. I remember he brought Mickey on staff. for a little bit. And then that didn't last too long. First time. All right, man. So we do got a new first time Noel, guys. Fatal Jedi. So everybody welcome Fatal Jedi to the family, to the 863 Seminole TV family, man. Good to see you. They eat spam in Guam. Guam, Hawaii makes sense. Half of the commissary is spam. What is spam? See, Sniper Gang ain't with the struggle. So you don't know what spam is. Google spam, Sniper. Vienna sausages and saltines. That's coal miner's specialty. My mom used to love Vienna sausages. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Canned meat. It was up to me. Fuller is fired after the Louisville game. Absolutely. Let's say Fuller defense hold Notre Dame to 24 and we win 27-24, but lose to NC State 35-44. That's kind of a loaded question, 904. Because there's a lot of games in between that NC State and that Notre Dame game. Okay? If we hold Notre Dame to 24 points and let's say 320 yards, that's a good defensive performance in my book, especially in today's football landscape. You got a bunch of games up until that North Carolina game. Maybe that North Carolina game is an outlier. Maybe that's their worst defensive performance on the season. But all the other games were similar to the Notre Dame game. Then I can't necessarily call for Fuller to be fired because it shows that they made a ton of progress in 1 year defensively. So, that's a tough situation you're kind of putting out there. I understand he wants to wait it out, but if it ruins our team this year and we miss out on that 2020 class, it's going to cost. Agreed. I agree there. What's up? Fatal. I really think Norvell may just turn FSU around. Better kids are coming. I agree there. Spam, I'll pass. What's up, Fatal? They don't have Panda Express or Waffle House over there. We have Panda Express. No Waffle House in Hawaii. No Waffle House. But we got, they have the normal stuff. They got Panda. There's no Chick-fil-A over here, which I hate. But we got Burger King, Popeyes. It's still America, right? We're not, Hawaii is still America. But they have their own culture, obviously. And, spam is part of that culture. Spam, they got this stuff called poi. It's like a purple paste. They eat poi like you would eat like mashed potatoes. I'm on Oahu, Lorenzo. I'm on Oahu. A lot of it to me is how it looks. Which side of the line of scrimmage we playing on? Does the back end look lost? Are we shying away from contact? Good point, Dan Squatch. Straight up football talk right there. Like you said, which side of the line of scrimmage we playing on? Are guys lost in coverage again? It's situational football. On a 3rd and 1, are we lined 10 yards off the receivers? If so, I got to question coaching there, right? Though situational football, all that stuff comes into play. Good point. We grew up eating fried bologna sandwiches and spam. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it if you like it, but that's struggle food. Most of us, we all been through the struggle. Not everybody grew up with silver spoons in their mouth, and me, I grew up with just my mom and my brother, and everything wasn't always everything, but we did we had a good, comfortable life. With all that said, they eat spam over here like it's a delicacy. like spam is that deal. It blew my mind when I found out there wasn't Waffle House all throughout the country. There's not Waffle House in Texas. There's a Waffle House in Austin, but that's an hour away from where I lived in Texas. Like, you would think there'd be Waffle Houses everywhere, because there's at least, I think, 2 Waffle Houses in Lakeland alone. I know one for sure. I think there's 2 Waffle Houses in Lakeland alone. In Texas, I had to drive damn near an hour for a Waffle House. You be eating them poke bowls or whatever they're called. Those are actually pretty good. Depending on what you get in, like what's all in them. Chick-fil-A is overrated. Y'all, I got to block 904. Damn. Normally, I only block people who come in here with the foolishness. You know, I don't have a long block list. If you get blocked, that means you really pissed me off or you came in here with some really dumb stuff. But 904 just may be the first person. I think 904 might be the first Florida State guy. First Florida State fan I'm blocking. He just said Chick-fil-A is... I kind of want to cut this stream off right now. Not even going to lie to you. Chick-fil-A is... What's your chicken spot? And you better have a damn good answer. What's your chicken spot? Chick-fil-A is overrated. Bruh, R. Davies, tell him again. You get that Polynesian sauce? Oh my God. With the waffle fries? Man, this guy may just ruin my day. POLK, just stopping through. Shout out to POLK. Yes, sir. Shout out to OG Kane coming in showing some love. Sardines and crackers. How long you going to be here? I'm here for it's February. By January of next year, I'll be gone. Where? Not too sure yet. But by January next year, I should be out of here. Waffle House and Huddle House, a southeastern thing. Can't be besmirching the Lord's chicken. Tell him again, Dan Squatch. You just left Honolulu. Damn, you should have let me know, Lorenzo. Could have linked up. Eggs and mayonnaise sandwiches. So the mayonnaise sandwiches, I don't do those. Egg sandwiches, I love egg sandwich be busting. Mayonnaise sandwiches, I'll pass. No, don't block 904. He about to get blocked. That man said Chick-fil-A was overrated. And I'm still waiting to hear what's his preferred chicken spot. He about to be on my shit list. I'm from GA. There's always a Waffle House nearby. Didn't find out there wasn't a Waffle House everywhere until college. Yeah, until I joined the military. Same thing with me, Tom. Until I joined the military, I didn't realize Waffle Houses weren't everywhere either. Y'all got In-N-Out in Hawaii. No, they don't have In-N-Out. They have Jack in the Box. I think Jack in the Box is some nasty stuff. I didn't even know what Jack in the Box was until I went to Texas. And I was like, what is this crap? The only thing I like from Jack in the Box are their egg rolls. But I had a taco from that. They have these little like rice bowls or something that I actually kind of like too. But their tacos, they put a slice of cheese in a taco at Jack in the Box. I was like, what is this crap? So I'll pass on Jack in the Box. They have the local places, the L&L's, L&L barbecue here in Hawaii. They have this place called Blazing Steaks, which is amazing. Blazing Steaks is amazing. Maui Mike's is a chicken spot, which is amazing. So stuff like that. There are like 4 Waffle Houses in Tallahassee. They're all over the Southeast. Like I said, you go to Lakeland, I think there's at least 2. Tampa's got them. You know, there are Waffle Houses everywhere in Florida. It's like who was it that said it? I think what is it called? Fatal Jedi said it. It's a Southeast thing. Once you kind of leave the Southeast, those Waffle Houses become far and in between. I'm pretty sure he meant he ate egg sandwiches with mayonnaise on them, G. No, Green Bay. There's people that eat flat out mayonnaise sandwiches, bro. I'm pretty sure he was talking flat out mayonnaise sandwiches. I know people that eat them. Only the real one knows about pals. It's mostly a Tennessee thing, I think. Yeah, I know nothing about that one. A 904, I'm from Duval. You tripping? In-N-Out is actually overrated. They have In-N-Out in Texas. Yeah, I didn't like In-N-Out either. The best burger spot to me, now they're expensive, and this might cause a little bit of debate, but to me, the best hamburgers are Five Guys. The Five Guys is, now they're expensive, but to me, you get what you pay for. I'll take a Five Guys over any other burger spot. You don't have to block 904. I'm blocking him with that foolishness. 904, and he ain't even come back and defend himself. There he said he's Zaxby's all day. Now, I like Zaxby's. But I ain't taking Zaxby's over. I ain't taking Zaxby's over Chick-fil-A. I'm not taking Zaxby's over Raising Cane's. Let's see who I trigger with that one. But I'll take Raising Cane's if you ever have Raising Cane's. I'll take Raising Cane's over Zaxby's. You said you must be eating some dry ass burger from KFC. Five Guys and Burger Do. POLK, he probably likes Zaxby's. Oh, Mike hit it right on the head. Zaxby's. Good night, John. Thank you for tuning in. Go Knowles. Damn right. Fried egg sandwich with mayo. I like Popeye's chicken sandwich more than Chick-fil-A, but I won't ever say Chick-fil-A is overrated. That's blasphemy. I do think the Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich is overhyped and overrated. I don't even go to Chick-fil-A for their chicken sandwiches. I agree. I think Popeyes is actually better than chicken sandwich wise. I like the chicken strips at Chick-fil-A or the chicken nuggets. Again, with the Polynesian sauce and the waffle fries. That's my go-to every time. Where I come from, if you want a cheap burger, you go to Cookout. I've heard of Cookout before, Tyler, and I've heard it's actually pretty good. I don't think I've ever had. I've never had it, but I've heard of Cookout before. You can clean a penny with the Zax sauce. War Chant is sponsored by Zaxby's, so that's why y'all like that Zaxby's. Zaxby's is good. I like Zaxby's, but I'll take Chick-fil-A and I'll take Raising Cane's over Zaxby's. And please never sleep on Whataburger is solid. Whataburger is solid. Definitely, that's a Texas thing for sure. Chat skipped on me. Hold on. Tyler said he loves Cookout. Oh, No Squad said he loves Cookout. Schofield still doing jungle ops. Yep, they are. Still doing the jungle training. You get the badge for it and all of that. I ain't doing it. But they still do it. Tyler, I'm with you about the Cookout burgers and them shakes. Five Guys, hands down. They got a Whataburger there. No, they don't have a Whataburger here in Hawaii. Nope. They do have Five Guys, though. I'm a Five Guys fan. Tyler, Cookout be smashing to be a cheap spot. Everybody talking about Cookout. I've never had it, but I've heard it was good. Waffle House is the best breakfast, period. Best breakfast. Waffle House is dope, obviously. I remember when IHOP's kind of fell off, but I remember when IHOP used to be the spot. And I still like IHOP. Denny's, I don't really fool with Denny's. They can keep Denny's. I'll take IHOP, Waffle House, and I'll take Cracker Barrel, man. If you guys don't go to Cracker Barrel is really good. I'll take Cracker Barrel too. I'm on the west side, but from the north side. 904. Cracker Barrel has the best breakfast. Okay, the Rose knows about that Cracker Barrel. Listening to people talk about In-N-Out, you think it was the most amazing thing you've ever had. Longhorns has the best hamburger. Longhorn Steakhouse. I heard Bojangles is really good. I've had Bojangles. To me, it's overrated. And maybe because I'm not from there. No, egg with the mayonnaise. Okay. Popeyes ain't what it used to be. I'm a Miami guy, born and raised, but Jacksonville definitely got one of the best soul food restaurants I've ever tasted. Soul Food Bistro, Potter's House. Man, listen, Poe, had me like Pookie from New Jack City. They used to have. There's a spot in Killeen, Texas, man, that had a really good soul food. I forget the name of it. There used to be one here in Hawaii, but I found an awesome Puerto Rican restaurant here in Hawaii that is really good. Los Quitos. I think that's what it's called. Los Quitos? Los Cojitos? Something like that. I don't know. When I was up in D.C., I knew a dude who opened a Chick-fil-A, sold 55K day one. They had to drop ship 2 18-wheelers. Chick-fil-A gonna make money. There's talks of bringing one here in Hawaii. The day they do that, that line's gonna be ridiculous. Greetings, Raymond James. What's going on? When I hit Duval, I'm hitting Jenkins Barbecue. Never had that. Zaxby's is smack. I stay at the beaches. Groothy's, Zaxby's. I've never had Groothy's. Never had that. We just got a walk-on O-lineman. Yeah, we talked about him. What was his name again? Alto Tarver. That's who you talking about, Montre. Best burgers is Char Hut. You sleep. I don't think I've had that either. I've never even heard of that. Where's that at? That in Miami thing, Canes, eh? Groothy's is in the AM is fire. Mayonnaise and cheese sandwiches. Norvell said today he's going to add another wide receiver. Did he say that? I don't think we need another wide receiver. Did he say that? He sounded excited. I'd have to see who's in the portal, who's available. I don't think we need another receiver. Jesus Christ. Give me an offensive tackle. Only get the famous bowls and Popeyes from KFC. I like the bowls from KFC. I like the Popeye. Good point, 904. I do like those. Cookout hit the scene back in 2015. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel is my favorite place to eat. Fried chicken be killing me. Cookout's only problem is that their shakes are too thick. I asked them to make it thin, and they stare at me like I'm speaking Spanish. They had a good burger spot. If you ever been to Killeen, Texas, I think I might be out through most of Central Texas, called Billy Bob's. That's a good hamburger spot, and they got good shakes too. This done turned into a fat boy stream. Denny's on Tennessee State and Tallahassee be smacking. I'm good with Denny's. Bojangles chicken for some reason only be hitting on Sundays, and maybe that's why I didn't like it when I had it. We had drove through. Drove from Florida to Virginia once, and we stopped at a Bojangles. Denny's is trash. Yeah, I don't fool with Denny's either. You ain't lying, 226. That damn porterhouse is A1. Raymond James. You know about Jenkins. Best breakfast around me is at the gas station called Frazier's. Their cheese grits are goated. The original Pancake House and in Honolulu has a good breakfast too. There's a good place in Hawaii called Sweet Ease for breakfast. They're really good. Again, this can turn into the fat boy stream. Speaking of fat boy streams, or speaking of this food talk, I got a question for you guys. Now, I think I know everybody's answer here because everybody pretty much seems like we're from the South. But how do we eat our grits, chat? How do we eat our grits? I'll wait to give my answer. But boy, you'll be surprised what people put in grits. Tyler brought it up with the cheese grits. So I want to know, how do we eat our grits? Fatal says the no receiving corps has a strong possibility to make a real impact if the quarterback gets more than a 2 count. Absolutely. I expect, again, we got to address the offensive line. I still want to tackle. I just think natural maturity and maturation and growth on that offensive line is going to benefit it. I expect O-line to be better. Just even if you, for whatever reason, you don't add another guy, I still expect that offensive line to improve. You can tell it's been a great post-National Signing Day. We in here talking about burgers and fries. Go Noles. Theo Vaughn got a hilarious bit about Denny's being trash. Groothy's, Zaxby's, and Cane's are about the same. I'll take Raising Cane's over Zaxby's, and I've never had Groothy's, so yeah. He said another wide receiver is in the works right now. We'll see. I'm not excited about another wide receiver, Mason. That's just me. Best chicken I ever had was from Champy's Fried Chicken, and every order comes with the 40-ounce beer. Okay, that's dope. You ever been to Wild Burgers? Man, they got some really good burgers too. Don't think I've been there. They got a solid burger spot here in Hawaii called Teddy's Bigger Burgers. Originally from Waycross, Georgia, and father was raised in Jax. He used to work at WZAZ with the legendary pressure cooker. I wonder if Norvell's meant parchment since ain't official. That's true. He could mean parchment because Norvell officially is not allowed to talk about Andrew Parchment yet. So that could be who he's talking about until Parchment's actually on the team. Like if you go watch the press conference and all that, he's not officially allowed to mention Parchment by name. Maybe that's who he's talking about. Good point, Dan Squatch. I went to Edward Waters for a year before I transferred to FSU. I'm low-key a Duval guy. I know the city well, but man, Sonny used to be the ish back in the G. Chur Hut all down in Broward. Okay. Struggle. What you know about sugar water and mayonnaise sandwiches? That's that Trick Daddy. Butter, salt, cheese. Okay, now we're on the grits talk. Okay. Butter, salt, cheese. I'm with it. Puts you some pepper in there too. All right, Green Bay, we're talking business. Cheese and salt. Okay, we're talking cheese. Eat my grits with butter and sugar. Oh, Rose done fucked it up. I knew somebody was going to come with the sugar. I knew it. I didn't think it would be you, Rose. Rose 904 about to get this block because 904 said Chick-fil-A was overrated. Now Rose talking about sugar. I knew somebody was going to come with the sugar. Listen, man. Right now, I'm telling you, the only thing you put in grits, butter, pepper, salt. You could throw some cheese in there, and if you're feeling real frisky, sprinkle some bacon crumbs in there, and it's smacking. Now you're hitting on all cylinders. That sugar stuff, take your ass back up north with that stuff, Rose. What are you talking about? This is why I love this channel. We can talk about a lot of different topics, building this no family. Absolutely, that's what we do over here, baby. Cheese grits got to be made with Velveeta, but just throw a Kraft single on there, and I'm set. Butter, salt, cheese is the only way. Cheese grits with butter, mixing the bacon. There you go. Lorenzo, we on the same. I got to mix that bacon in there. Got to mix that bacon in there. Hey, I'm actually happy for y'all as Clemson fan. Good pickup. I drink sugar water till this day. Hello, man, I ain't going to lie. I eat it with cheese, but if a little jelly on my toast falling, I ain't tripping. My wife do the syrup thing, but she eats her biscuits with syrup and stuff. I don't know. But that sugar stuff, Rose, I knew one of y'all was gonna do it. I knew one of y'all was gonna do it. Fat boys up in here in the mountains, we do biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy. You know, I didn't have biscuits and gravy until I joined the military. There was a time that's all I ate for breakfast. Biscuits and gravy is the shit. Mike Thompson getting a little bit bougie in here, but shrimp and grits is amazing. Shrimp and grits is amazing with your chopping onions up. Absolutely. Shrimp and grits is amazing. So I'm with you there. I'm just talking on a regular basis. You're not going to cook up some shrimp to throw in your grits. We got the butter, the cheese, the salt, all of that. When my dog said the sugar, I knew he was going to pop the I knew somebody was going to come in here with the sugar stuff. Y'all ever had PDQ? I've never had that. Salt, pepper, cheese if you're a cheese person. That's how grits should be eaten. That's it. And again, sprinkle some bacon in there, we good to go. And that shrimp, if you want to be bougie, I'm with that because shrimp and grits is awesome. But man, I'm surprised most of y'all ain't even going at Rose head with the sugar. I guess a lot of y'all must like the sugar because Rose, I knew somebody was going to come with the sugar. I'm disappointed that it's FSU Rose. But man, yeah, cheese, grits, butter. But I hear people up north put sugar in theirs. Wanda, I don't know why. He said it was a player he can't talk about yet. It's got to be Parchment then. That's the only player that he can't talk about. If you want great breakfast buffets, go to any southern town that has soul food restaurant. Here in Tallies, it's Olean's. I think I remember when I haven't been to a Golden Corral in a long time, but Golden Corral used to have a damn good breakfast buffet. Golden Corral's kind of fell off though. Butter and sugar, what the F? Think somebody said something eventually about the sugar thing. Thought I was the only one that cared. Sugar does not belong in grits. Thank you, Andres. Thank you. My dad eats his grits with sugar too. I tried it, but it threw me off. Just salt and pepper for me. Hot sauce. If you put hot sauce in your grits, you hood as If you throw hot sauce in your grits, where you from, bro? You from Belglade or something? If you put hot sauce in your grits, you are hood as hell. Hot sauce. Putting sugar. Now I know people that eat their eggs with hot sauce and stuff, but again, you're talking about hood dudes. Putting sugar in grits and peas is to get kids to eat it from above the Mason-Dixon line. I don't care. You don't put it in there. Yeah, Sonny's is still bussing. Tillman Smith just tweeted, I think it's time. Wonder what he means. Tillman Smith has been dealing with a lot. He had that situation with that girl, with that underage girl. I mean, hopefully, I don't know how all that's played out with Telvin. Yeah, Telvin has a lot of stuff on his plate. We'll see what he's talking about, though. By the way, if you want some dope cheese grits, dump a piece of that government cheese in there. Sometimes I throw some grape jelly in the grits. Shit on a shingle, a.k.a. chip beef and gravy. I've had that before. Chick-fil-A overrated. I need what he's smoking. Ramen noodles, ultimate struggle food. Bro, ain't nothing. There's a time we ate noodles so much growing up that I haven't touched a pack of noodles, man, in probably 10 years. I can't eat them no more because we ate them so much growing up. I can't eat them anymore. I can't eat them anymore. The same thing for me with the now I came back around to eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but when I was a kid, man, I'd have Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We ate so much Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I know my mama was pissed because in the day that Cinnamon Toast Crunch would be gone. And it got to the point where I couldn't eat it anymore. When I got older, I didn't even want to see a box of the stuff. I've came back around to the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I still don't eat no noodles. My wife and kids does the sugar. I tell them those are grits, not oatmeal. First I ever heard about this sugar nonsense. Tyler, no, it's a real debate. It's a real debate. And I knew somebody was going to come with the sugar. That's why I asked it. The person that did it has disappointed me, though. I'm disappointed that it's Rosé. Hell no on the sugar. I'm so damn proud of today. Good energy from all my brothers, man. Y'all made my day feel like I'm chatting with a bunch of guys I knew forever. Man, I wish y'all many blessings. This feels great. Tribe 21. Hey, shout out to 226 Tim. That's what this channel is all about, bro. We come over here, we have fun, talk our Florida State stuff, and then every stream, we end up on some crazy topics like this because that's what we do, baby. If you like this kind of stuff, that's what we do over here. Man, they don't want the smoke. Man, I want all the smoke, Rosé. How you going to put sugar in the grits? I'm from Mobile. We do put fish in our grits. I've had fried fish and grits. I've had that. Rosé making the South look bad. Sugar, really? Talking about that freshman 30 I put on 2 biscuits opened up, throw on a hash brown and eggs on top, loop back through the line, cover it all in gravy. I'm with you, 226. If you're gonna put sugar in your grits, you might as well eat cream of wheat or get some oatmeal. Thank you, Mike. I don't get the sugar in the grits thing. Go get you some oatmeal or the cream of wheat stuff. Not the biggest grits fan. Hash browns instead. You can eat hot sauce with almost anything. Oh, now y'all letting POLK hype y'all up. Somebody got to hype somebody up, man. Fatal, I just had basa with Groots and hot sauce. Basa with Groots and hot sauce. What are you eating, 904? What is that? Salmon patties are delicious with grits, absolutely. And yeah, so I can see where you get the hot. But just putting hot sauce on just plain grits, but yeah, the salmon patties with some hot sauce and grits, I'm with you there, Mike. I'm trying to go to that Notre Dame game on a Sunday before Labor Day. Tallahassee is going to be lit, and I think we'll be the only game on TV that day too. So great energy there for that Notre Dame game. I'm with you. We are family for real. Absolutely. We a family over here. This is the 860 tribe over here, dog. This is what we do. It's what we do. This isn't nothing new. We do this all the time. And I'm just happy that y'all feel the vibes, and this is, at the end of the day, this is all dope. Now I'm grown and I got bougie as hell on my ramen. Real ramen, going to like a real ramen spot is really good. You sound like me with those bologna and cheese sandwiches and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, about $7 a box now. I destroy that cereal when I get it. I grew up on ramen noodles. Nowadays, they tell you they aren't good for you. I guess because all the salt. Nothing's good for you nowadays. Hot dogs and pork and beans was my struggle meal. I think we've all had that. I don't care if I ever eat another slice of bologna in my life. Man, I grew up in the area of King, bruh. When my mom was getting wick, we ate the kicks, the berry kicks. Like that was another cereal we ate a lot. The berry kicks. But I remember King vitamins too. I'm the same with Lucky Charms. I've never been a big Lucky Charms guy. Absolutely, Tim. Ramen hit different when Mama San cook it. You get real ramen, yeah. It hit different. Not them damn cup of noodles or packs of noodles. Real ramen, I agree with it. Fatal, good stuff. What about eating Captain Crunch, snatching the scratch, bruh? Captain Crunch, yes. Your gums bleed when you eat that stuff. Can't forget about Po Birdie bag cereal. I remember all those bag cereals. Poverty bag cereal is what he meant. Okay. One pack of noodles was like 2K sodium. That's your daily intake in one sitting. Yeah. Beanies and weenies, the first meal I learned to cook. Can't go wrong with baked beans and weenies. Food ramen. I don't know. Someone in the chat said Cinnamon Toast Crunch was $7 a box. Cut my mouth plenty of times. I think all of us remember the real KKK Kicks King vitamins and kaboom. Yeah. Oh, man. So with that being said, guys, I think we had a really dope live stream today. I had a lot of fun. At the end of the day, we landed Dustin Hill, and that's what this was all about. We got sidetracked. We got into fat boy talk, but I love it. FSU's trending in the right spot. We're trending in the right spot. We're going in the right direction. They've already started off very good on this 2022 class. Again, already got 3 blue chips. McAdoo, Macchio, and of course, the baddest man in the country, Travis Hunter. We'll wait and see how they close up. We're not quite done yet with this 2021 class. They got a couple spots. I think 2. Norvell's is saying 2. The numbers say 1. Either way, they're going to add somebody else. We're going to see who they add down the stretch here, whether it's another offensive lineman, whatever. But this was a great live stream. I'm about to go make some dinner myself, speaking of fat boy talk. I just saw a comment that I'm going to address real quick. 904 says, I do put sugar in my spaghetti. 904, that is my... So I don't put sugar on my spaghetti. What I do is when I make my spaghetti sauce, I put sugar and I make it with the spaghetti sauce. So I'm with you there. So I do put the sugar in my spaghetti sauce and cook it up like that. But I don't, because I'm actually about to go make some spaghetti. That's what my wife wanted. So I'm going to make some spaghetti today. So we're about to head out here, man. We had up to 80. I think we reached a peak of 80 people in the chat today, man. So hopefully the likes represent it. Hit the like button if you had it. If you didn't hit it on the way in and you're still sticking around, hit the like button on your way out. Travis Hunter's 2022 sniper. Man, we had really dope conversation tonight with the food talk, guys. Sugar and spaghetti, what the F? Don't come for me. Don't come for me, Rose, because you do the sugar and the grit, so I don't want to hear it. And no, it's not like sweet, but thank you, Green Bay. It cuts the acidity of the sauce. Like, if you ever had somebody's spaghetti and it's like real tangy, I don't like tangy spaghetti sauce. So you cook it with sugar, brings that tangy and the acidity down. That's all it is. Don't come for me, Rose, because you put sugar in your damn grits. But anyway, y'all have an awesome rest of you guys' night. I don't know if there's any. Well, I work this weekend anyways, so you guys probably won't see me this weekend. So I don't know when the next show will be, but I'll definitely be getting another show out here. If not this weekend, of course, Hangover every week. Monday, Tuesday. I pulled it off till Wednesday because I knew we had signing day coming up. So, yeah, man. You guys have a great night, man. Have a great night. It's your boy POLK over here on 863 Seminole TV. And like I tell you guys every week, we at you. Y'all see the community growing. Y'all see the community growing. 863 Seminole Tribe. We are out here. And as always, stay classy, Seminoles. And I will see you guys next time, man. Go Noles. You guys have a great night.